Welcome to my channel Valuable Rare Coins because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're shining a spotlight on the Lincoln 1-cent coin from 1967, a humble-looking penny that could be worth a life-changing amount of money. So listen carefully, because this isn't just any old cent. This could be the key to a coin treasure worth a fortune. The Lincoln cent has been part of American history since 1909. And while many collectors focus on earlier years like the 1910s or 1920s, there's something truly special about the 1967 Lincoln penny. This particular year marked a transitional period for U.S. coin production. There were no mint marks on any coins in 1967 due to a temporary policy change at the U.S. Mint. That alone gives the 1967 penny a unique historical twist, but the real value comes from specific errors and rare variations that only a handful of lucky people ever get to discover. So, what makes the 1967 Lincoln penny so rare and valuable? It all begins with minting errors. Some of the most sought-after 1967 pennies show dramatic double-die obverse errors, where the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" appear doubled under magnification. This doubling can create a shadow effect that's obvious even to the naked eye on some coins. These errors happen during the striking process when the die shifts slightly, and only a small number of coins end up with this rare and valuable mistake. There are also known examples of off-center strikes, broad-struck coins, and die cracks found on 1967 Lincoln pennies. A broad-struck coin looks like it's been stretched or flattened, creating a coin with an odd, unrounded shape. Off-center errors show the coin's design shifted to one side, leaving part of the blank planchet exposed. These minting mistakes are incredibly appealing to collectors, especially when combined with a coin that is in mint state condition. Condition is everything when it comes to value. A 1967 penny with no scratches, no wear, strong luster, and a sharp strike could be graded as MS65 or higher, and that's where values start to soar. Coins certified by PCGS or NGC with these attributes and a rare error can attract serious attention from investors, collectors, and coin enthusiasts worldwide. Now, let's take a moment to imagine this. You find an old 1967 penny in your collection. It looks crisp, shiny. Maybe you even notice something odd about the lettering or shape. You send it in for grading, and it comes back as a high-grade double-die error. That coin, that single little cent, could be worth far more than you ever imagined. In fact, one verified 1967 Lincoln cent with a rare error and in pristine condition recently sold at auction for $140,000. That's right, 1 cent, 1 coin, one big payday. These stories are real, and they're happening more often as collectors become more aware and markets heat up. Coin collecting is no longer just a hobby, it's an investment. The demand for rare coins has never been stronger, and the 1967 penny is one of those hidden gems that experts believe still has more to reveal. People across the country are searching their change, coin rolls, and family collections, hoping to find the next big winner, and it could easily be this exact coin. So, what should you look for in your 1967 pennies? Examine the text closely with a magnifying glass. Look for signs of doubling on the date and inscriptions. Check the rim for signs of off-center striking. Feel the surface. If it still has that original mint shine, you may be holding something very special. If in doubt, send it to a trusted coin grading service to find out exactly what you have. And here's the fun part, share your findings. We want to hear from you. If you found a 1967 penny that looks unusual, or if you've got questions about identifying rare features, leave a comment below. You might help others spot something valuable in their collections too, or maybe your story will inspire a future collector to take their first step into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Second rare coin is about a legendary little coin that has surprised collectors time and time again, the Lincoln penny from the year 1970. At first glance, it may look just like any ordinary penny you'd find in your pocket change, but hidden among those coins are rare gems that are turning heads in the collector world. So stay with me and listen very carefully, because what you're about to learn could change the way you look at every single cent in your collection. The year 1970 was a fascinating time for the US Mint. Coin production was evolving, and during that process, a few extraordinary errors slipped through the cracks. These aren't just any mistakes, they're the kinds of rare minting errors that make coins from this year incredibly desirable and extremely valuable to collectors. And the Lincoln penny from 1970 is a perfect example of how something small, ordinary, and copper-colored could be worth an absolute fortune. So, what makes the 1970 Lincoln penny so special? Let's begin with the double die obverse, one of the most talked about errors from this era. In some 1970s minted pennies, you'll notice clear doubling on the date, especially the number 7, and sometimes on the word liberty or even in God we trust. This doubling effect happened during the die creation process at the mint and is one of the most desirable errors a collector can find. It's easy to miss if you're not looking closely, but if you do spot this feature, you may be staring at a coin worth a small fortune. Another thing to look for is a small date versus large date variation, especially on the 1970s penny. The small date is much rarer and can often fetch a higher price, especially when combined with the doubling error. Collectors prize these coins for their uniqueness, and the differences are subtle. The 9 in the date will sit higher in the small date version, while the large date looks more even. These little distinctions are what separate common coins from investment-grade treasures. Condition also plays a huge role in value. A 1970 penny in MS65 or higher, meaning it's nearly flawless, with full luster and sharp strike, will always bring a premium. But when you combine pristine condition with a rare error, that's when things get really exciting. Coins like this have sold for jaw-dropping prices at major coin auctions, leaving collectors amazed and eager to search through their own collections for a similar find. Now imagine finding one of these 1970 Lincoln pennies in your own stash. You hold it up to the light, notice something off about the date or the lettering, and decide to send it off for grading. When it comes back certified with a rare double die or small date designation in mint state, you could be holding a coin worth more than you ever dreamed. In fact, some 1970 Lincoln pennies have fetched as much as $100,000 at auction. Yes, a single copper cent, worth $100,000. Just imagine what that could mean for you. Collectors today are more passionate than ever, and the demand for rare coins continues to grow. The 1970 penny has earned a solid reputation in the numismatic world for being one of those years where hidden gems are still waiting to be found. If you love history, detail, and the thrill of the hunt, this coin is a must-watch in your search. Check every cent you come across. You never know which one could be your ticket to a small fortune. So, how do you check for these valuable features? Get yourself a good magnifying glass or coin microscope. Look closely at the date and the inscriptions. Compare it with online reference images of known double die and small date varieties. If you notice anything unusual or different, don't ignore it. Take the next step and consider submitting it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. It might just be the smartest move you ever make. Have you ever come across a 1970 penny that looked a little off or different? Do you have a story about a rare coin you found? Share it in the comments. I love hearing your discoveries, and your experience could help someone else find their treasure too. And if you have any questions about Lincoln pennies or coin collecting in general, drop them below, and I'll be happy to help. Third expensive coin. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever produced by the US Mint, the Lincoln 1-cent coin from 1961 with the D mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another old penny from your change jar, but don't let that simple appearance fool you, because this coin hides secrets that could turn it into a jackpot for collectors. The Lincoln penny has long been a favorite among American coin lovers, and the 1961 D version is no exception. Minted in Denver, this coin came at a time when America was booming and coin production was at full speed. But as always, when thousands of coins are struck every minute, some slip through with unexpected quirks, and that's where the magic begins. These rare quirks, known as minting errors, are what transform an everyday coin into a rare treasure with serious collector demand. So, what exactly should you be looking for on the 1961 D penny? One of the biggest things to watch out for is the double die obverse error. This happens when the coin die strikes the blank planchet more than once, but slightly misaligned. The result? Doubling that can be seen with the naked eye, most commonly on the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date itself. If your 1961 D penny has this bold doubling effect, you could be staring at something far more valuable than you ever expected. Another incredible error that raises the value of this coin is the repunched mint mark, also called an RPM. On some 1961 D pennies, you'll notice the D mint mark appears to be stamped more than once, slightly offset. This is because mint marks were applied by hand back then, and sometimes they were struck twice by mistake. That simple minting flaw makes these coins a must-have for serious collectors who chase after RPM varieties like gold. Don't stop there. The 1961 D penny also has known examples of off-center strikes, die cracks, and broad-struck errors. These variations don't just make the coin unique, they also tell a story about how it was made, and each one adds value, character, and rarity. Some even show signs of die wear that gives the coin extra texture and uniqueness. It's this individuality that excites collectors. No two error coins are ever exactly the same. Now, let's talk about condition. A coin like this in circulated condition might be worth a few dollars, maybe more depending on the error. But when a 1961 D penny is found in mint state condition, especially one graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, its value can skyrocket. And if it combines this pristine state with a dramatic mint error like a double die or repunched mint mark, that's when the serious money rolls in. In fact, recent auctions have shown just how much these coins can go for when the right conditions come together. Collectors are willing to spend big money for top-grade examples with rare features. And would you believe that one of these 1961 D Lincoln pennies has been sold for an astonishing $200,000? Yes, you heard that right, a single penny worth $200,000. That's not a fantasy, that's real money from a real auction, and it could happen to you if you have the right coin in your collection. That's why it's more important than ever to check every coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass or coin loupe, examine the date, the mint mark, and the lettering. Look for signs of doubling, repunching, or misalignment. If you find something unusual, don't ignore it. Have it professionally graded and authenticated. You never know, your humble penny could turn out to be a rare treasure worth thousands. And remember, the world of coin collecting isn't just about money. It's about discovery, history, and passion. Every coin is a piece of America's story. The 1961 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a small piece of copper can carry a big story and possibly a massive reward. If you've ever come across a coin like this, or if you have questions about your own collection, leave a comment below. I love hearing your stories, and your experience could inspire someone else to start their journey in the exciting world of coin collecting. Especially, we're talking about one of the most talked about coins in American numismatics, the Lincoln penny 1-cent coin from 1974. And yes, this humble penny could be hiding a secret that makes it worth thousands of dollars. So if you're a coin lover, stay tuned, listen carefully, and enjoy this deep dive into one of the most exciting finds in the collector world. The 1974 Lincoln penny might look like your average pocket change, but under the surface, this coin holds some rare surprises. Produced in the millions, this coin saw a unique era in U.S. mint experimentation. In fact, 1974 is the year the mint tested coins in aluminum, trying to switch from the standard copper composition due to rising costs. While most 1974 pennies are standard copper, the very existence of 1974 aluminum cents, along with rare mint errors, has made this year highly collectible. Let's talk about what truly makes the 1974 penny special: errors and varieties. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse. This means the design was accidentally stamped twice on the coin's front side, creating a visible doubling of letters or numbers, especially noticeable on Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and sometimes the date 1974 itself. If your coin shows this doubling clearly, don't ignore it. It could be a jackpot. Another exciting error collectors crave is the off-center strike, where the image is misaligned due to a mistake in the minting process. Depending on how off-center it is, this can significantly increase a coin's value. Some of these errors are so dramatic, they're immediately noticeable and command big money at auctions. Combine that with strong luster and sharp details, and you have a rare treasure in your hands. Look out for repunched mint marks too. These are coins where the D Denver mint mark was struck more than once, creating a shadow effect. This minor flaw becomes a major win for collectors because it proves the coin came from a specific time in minting history when manual processes created unpredictable results, and those results now bring high premiums. Now here's a tip for every collector watching. Condition is everything. A 1974 penny in poor shape might not turn heads, but if you find one in mint state, MS65 or higher, especially with one of these rare errors, you're talking about serious collector value. Always check your coins under good lighting or a magnifier. It's often the smallest details that make the biggest difference. In recent years, rare examples of the 1974 penny have appeared at auctions, shocking both collectors and experts alike. Coins with dramatic doubling, perfect strikes, or near-flawless surfaces have sold for massive sums, proving that even a coin that's over 50 years old and worth 1 cent on paper can turn out to be a life-changing discovery. And here's the part you've been waiting for. One rare 1974 Lincoln penny, featuring a strong double-die error in mint state condition, was sold for a staggering $90,000. That's right, $90,000 for a single penny. This is why collectors across the world continue to search their jars, boxes, and coin rolls, hoping to find the next great hidden treasure. So the next time you come across a 1974 penny, don't overlook it. Give it a close inspection. You could be holding a historic, error-laden coin that's in demand and worth far more than you'd ever imagine. Always remember, the thrill of collecting lies in discovery, and the next discovery could be sitting in your hand right now. If you've ever found a 1974 penny with unusual features, or if you're wondering about the value of a coin in your collection, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories, help you identify coins, and build this amazing community of collectors together. Next coin, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1981 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, a simple penny at first glance, but one that holds a world of secrets beneath its copper surface. So if you're a true collector or just getting started, listen very carefully, because this coin could be hiding in your home and may be worth a fortune. The Lincoln penny has been a core of American currency since 1909, honoring the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. But in 1981, something very unique happened in the world of minting. This was one of the last years the U.S. Mint produced pennies using 95% copper before switching over to a zinc composition in 1982. That alone makes this coin part of a historical transition, but what really brings value to this specific penny from Denver is not just its metal, but the incredible mint errors that make some of these coins highly collectible and extremely valuable. So what exactly makes the 1981 D. Lincoln penny so special? Let's start with one of the most sought-after features, the double-die obverse. This rare mint error occurs when the design is impressed onto the coin twice, slightly misaligned. This creates a visible doubling effect on the inscriptions, especially on Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 1981. If your penny has that bold doubling effect, congratulations! You might be holding one of the rarest pennies from that year, but that's not all. Another feature that elevates the value is a repunched mint mark, also known as an RPM. During this time, mint marks were still being manually punched into dies, and if the die shifted or was struck twice by mistake, the result was a D that appears shadowed or doubled. These varieties are hot items for collectors and are meticulously hunted by experts using magnifiers or high-powered coin microscopes. If you find this variety in mint condition, the value can go through the roof. Collectors also go crazy over off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to a misaligned press. Even small percentages of misalignment can skyrocket the price, but major off-centers with a clear date are considered gold in the eyes of numismatists. There's also the rare possibility of finding a broad strike error, which gives the coin a wider appearance due to the collar not properly containing the planchet during striking. These physical anomalies make each coin a unique piece of art and a piece of history, and don't forget about condition. A coin's grade can determine whether it's worth a few dollars or thousands. A 1981 D penny in worn condition might not raise eyebrows, but in mint state 65 or higher, especially if it's certified by PCGS or NGC, the value increases significantly. Combine that pristine condition with a visible error or variety, and you have a serious contender for one of the top penny sales of the year. Let's not overlook the demand from collectors. The 1981 D is a hot target due to its transitional nature and known error types. In fact, there have been several auction appearances of these coins in top condition with rare features, and they've sold for incredible amounts. People are out there right now, bidding for these coins and willing to pay top dollar to add one to their elite collection. And here's the jaw-dropping part. One of these 1981 D Lincoln pennies, with a dramatic error and preserved in near-perfect condition, has sold for as much as $60,000. Yes, a single penny, 1 cent, sold for $60,000. That's why you should never ignore even the most ordinary-looking coin in your collection. It could be a life-changing treasure waiting to be discovered. So now it's your turn. Go through your old change, your coin jars, and your inherited collections. Look closely, examine each coin carefully, and use a good magnifier. Who knows, your 1981 D penny might be the next record breaker. If you found a 1981 D Lincoln penny with any unique features, or if you have questions about your own coins, leave a comment below. I love hearing from collectors around the world and helping identify coins that could be worth serious money. Last unique coin, we're going to take a deep dive into a small but powerful piece of American history, the Lincoln penny 1-cent coin from 1964. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could be worth far more than its face value. In fact, some of these rare varieties have shocked collectors at auctions with incredible prices. So if you're holding onto a 1964 penny or curious about what makes certain coins so valuable, grab a seat and listen closely. This might just change how you see the change in your pocket. Let's begin with a little background. The year 1964 was an important time in U.S. coinage history. The mint was under immense pressure to produce large quantities of coins due to a national coin shortage. Millions of Lincoln cents were struck that year, but as history often proves, not all coins are created equal. Some 1964 Lincoln pennies came out with stunning mint errors, making them stand out in the world of numismatics, and those are the gems that collectors crave today. Now, what makes the 1964 penny so special? First and foremost, there are known varieties of the double die obverse. This is when the coin's front design was struck twice, slightly off, creating a doubled appearance on the date, liberty, and in God we trust. If you spot any doubling on these elements, especially with strong separation, you could be holding something extremely rare and valuable. Another error to watch for is the off-center strike, where the design is visibly shifted due to misalignment during the minting process. A coin that is 10% to 50% off-center and still shows the full date is extremely collectible, and the more off-center it is, while keeping identifying marks, the more desirable it becomes. Combine this with a crisp surface and little wear, and you have a coin that catches the eye of serious collectors. Let's not forget about repunched mint marks, often seen on the D mint mark from the Denver Mint in 1964. These are tiny but powerful errors where the mint mark was struck twice or more in slightly different positions. Even slight repunching makes a coin unique, and collectors absolutely love these varieties because they add history, character, and rarity to an otherwise common coin. Condition is also key. A 1964 penny found in your drawer may not seem impressive, but a mint state 65 or higher grade with sharp details and strong luster increases the coin's value significantly. Coins with red surfaces, indicating minimal oxidation, are especially valuable. Combine that pristine condition with one of the errors mentioned earlier, and you're looking at a true collector's prize. Some of the most eye-popping prices come from auction houses, where these coins are graded and authenticated by professionals like PCGS or NGC. A few examples of 1964 pennies with intense doubling or nearly flawless surfaces have stunned the numismatic world. The excitement in these rooms is real. Collectors know that a penny like this could be the highlight of their collection, a coin that not only tells a story, but grows in value over time. The hunt for a valuable 1964 penny is still very much alive. With more people than ever diving into coin collecting, demand has skyrocketed, and rare varieties from this year are seeing record prices. So don't overlook that little copper coin. Get a magnifying glass, check the date, examine the mint mark, and look closely at every detail. You never know what you might find. And now, for the most exciting part, one of the rarest known 1964 Lincoln pennies, featuring a dramatic double-die obverse and graded in pristine mint state condition, has sold for an astounding $260,000. That's right, a single penny, no bigger than your thumbnail, fetching more than a luxury car at auction. Incredible, isn't it? So, my fellow collectors, if you have a 1964 Lincoln cent, don't dismiss it. It could be the ticket to an exciting discovery, a valuable treasure waiting in plain sight. Let the thrill of the hunt inspire you to search through your coin jars, old albums, or inherited boxes, and who knows, your penny might just be worth a fortune. If you've come across a unique 1964 penny or think you might have something rare, drop a comment below and share your story. I'd love to hear about your finds and help you uncover the true value of your coins. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more amazing stories about coins that could change your life. Keep collecting, keep learning, and remember, the next big discovery could be right at your fingertips. And it could be worth $260,000.